That's right. Right? This moment is the only time, it's really interesting. The only time you can do anything is right now. You can't do anything 5 minutes ago, and you can't do anything 5 minutes from now. But the only time you can do anything is now. So even if you were, let's say, in a dream for the last 20 years, it really doesn't matter. And even if you were clear for the last 20 years, it doesn't matter. Because the only time you can do anything is now. You know, it's interesting when Zen Master Seung Song talked about anger, he said there's actually 4 types of anger. So the first type of anger he called attachment. And that's where you get angry and you just cannot let go of it. Maybe days, maybe weeks, months, some people even years holding this anger. And then he talked about reflective anger. So I have this with my kids a lot. They do something, like, what do you do? You know, it's just that instant response, right? That you say something or do something that's out of anger. But you noticed it, right? You catch it. And I was like, oh. So again, I do this quite a lot. I'm going to be a master at this. You get angry, and then you're like, oh, wow, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean to say that, or didn't mean to yell. You know, you make it clear. So one thing Zen Master Seung Song said is, as a human being, you're always going to make mistakes. There's no way out of it. But how do you make it correct is really important. If you look at dysfunctional relationships, it's usually because no one makes all that stuff clear. You get, like, my dad he would get angry, and that was it. Like, he never said anything about it after that. So you're thinking, or I'm thinking, what, did I do something wrong? Am I bad? Or, you know, all this stuff. Rather than saying, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm sorry, I was angry. I didn't get much sleep, and it wasn't nothing you did or said. Can we try that again? So he called that reflective anger. And then he said there's a perceived anger where inside you're angry, but outside it doesn't control your actions or speech. Right? You feel it because you're human, but it doesn't control your actions and speech. And then he said there's bodhisattva anger. So bodhisattva is one who dedicates their lives to help others. So he said bodhisattva anger means it's out of love. I always thought, that's interesting, but I'm thinking of my kids again, where that can be helpful, right? So let's say little Johnny goes out in the street and a car comes. So you can say, oh, Johnny, you shouldn't do that. Right, it's not going to resonate. But if you just use your anger in a clear way, Johnny, if you walk out in the street, you can be hit by a car and get hurt, right? Something like that. But it's out of love, right? Inside, there's anger, but it's not about you. Because usually anger is about us. Why did they do that to me? I don't like, I hate, right? But anger is just energy. And it can be used in a way that can help. Laura mentioned about sometimes compassion, love and compassion and helping people. It's not always what it seems, right? Sometimes it means maybe yelling at someone. Maybe sometimes it means giving a hug. You know, it's like there's no formula, and that's what I love about Zen and life, because there's no difference, by the way, is that there is no formula. I wish there was, because it'd be easy. We just write a book and just pass it out. You don't have to do retreats. You don't have to come to practice. You don't have to do anything. It's not like that, unfortunately. So that's where the practice is very helpful, right? It helps us come back. So right now, what can I do to correct the situation, or how can I help? This is like 2 things we just need to know forever. What am I doing now, and how can I help? There's nothing else. And that's our practice when we're at a retreat. That's our practice when we're in the car, driving. That's our practice when we're at work, with our families or friends. When we're drinking that margarita on the beach. It's the same practice. So what I've noticed though, like with the anger, I used to have a lot of attachment anger. But I noticed one of the results of practicing, and again practicing, we're talking about like letting go of everything, is that the anger shifts. Like again, the energy will be there, but either it doesn't control you, or you can use it in a way that's helpful, or you catch it when you know that you made a mistake and you can make it correct. So it's easy to talk about, but it's hard to do. That's why we come here and practice. That's why we do retreats. That's why we set up a daily practice, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's why we do that.